Test.
Test.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here, Krister.
Test. 1, 2.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Sorry.
Tonight's game should be a great one, and both teams are ranked in the top 5 in the state. At this time, we'd like to welcome all the fans, players, and coaches Now let's introduce the starting defense for the Panthers. Junior, number 93, defensive end, Landon Carter. Defensive tackle, number 91, senior Will Mostar. Defensive tackle, senior number 98, Eli Mostar. At defensive end is junior number 50, Preston Palmer. At linebacker, number 21, senior Tommy Jensen. Linebacker is senior number 46, Sam Herman. Linebacker, number 22, junior Nick Wypa. At quarterback, number 37, senior number 37, Jake Mill. Senior safety, number 25, Owen Dugan. Junior safety, number 33, Carter Patterson. And at cornerback, senior number 27, Eric Whitman. Head coach of the Panthers, Brian Boston, offensive coordinator, Bob Kovic, and the remainder of the Panther players and coaching staff. Officials for tonight's game, head lineman Phil Anai, line judge Kelly Turnus, back judge Corey Lorenzen, umpire Jerome Schmidt, and in the white hat, referee Brent Dack.
Hi everybody, welcome to Lakeville North High School as Eden Prairie, coming off a very close shave last week against Eastview. They will take on a very tough Lakeville North team tonight, a Lakeville North team that is hungry and looking for some revenge. Last year Lakeville North losing twice to Eden Prairie by lopsided scores, 41-14 in the regular season and 35-0 in the quarterfinal round. So Eden Prairie coming into the season, Mike Grant's biggest concern is the line play on both sides of the ball, and that may pose a problem tonight as Lakeville North with a three-headed monster at running back, the Panthers featuring Rajay Nelson, Logan Freeberg, and Brian Curtis. Curtis should get the majority of the carries.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup, Patrick, because last week I was able to watch part of that stream of the Eden Prairie Eastview game, and you can tell this is a young Eagle squad, and they could be very vulnerable in this matchup against a very tough Lakeville North team. Gonna have to see what they bring, and they can get things turned around a little more here.
Preston Dorsey, short kickoff taken at about the 5-yard line, across the 10. Got some room up to around the 25-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will go on offense for the first time. Led by quarterback Brennan Kubler, dual threat quarterback. So essentially a four-headed monster coming out of the backfield. Freeberg, just a sophomore, he did have a 68-yard touchdown run last week in the win over Burnsville. 30-6 was the final, but the game was much closer than that would indicate. It was 6-6 at halftime, only 13-6 in favor of the Panthers after 3 quarters before they opened it up a bit. So they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line, pistol set. First down, the handoff, got some room, cross the 30, it's Curtis, and he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8 yards. So a great opening play for the Panthers, and they'll have a second down and short coming up.
Glad everyone can join us here on our broadcast today. Lots of different ways you can watch EP football all throughout the season. We're on all the major social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Watch us on your favorite social media site, and we're glad to be with you all regular season long.
Now Curtis, who rushed for 154 yards last week, promptly adds 2 more to his season total, and it'll be second down and 2. Give it to Curtis again. He slides through an arm tackle, and he'll have a first down up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, good strong running by Curtis. Let's take a look at it here on the replay. Let's see if we get a look at it here. Don't quite have to look at it quite yet. But it was a nice run to break some tackles. As you said, Patrick, an arm tackle there he was able to break. Eagles got to do a little bit better there on the run defense.
So the Panthers pick up a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Rajay Nelson up top and split out wide. Curtis remains the tailback. He'll get it again. Why not? Able to fight his way up. It'll only pick up about 2. This time the Eden Prairie defense able to contain him after minimal yardage.
Curtis on the carry.
Tonight's game brought to you by the Mulch Store and Tactical Urban Combat. And thank you for sponsoring us on our vast multicast this evening and hopefully all season long with the 4 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. 2nd and 8 from the 37. Healer with the pitch out to Curtis. He's got a hole, but he's quickly met after a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd down and medium coming up.
Curtis carries.
Curtis, who had 26 rushes last week, already with 5 carries here on the first drive. So Lakeville North content to just feed the ball to their workhorse star running back. But it'll be a tough situation coming up. It'll be 3rd and 6 from their own 39.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do here. Big 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down, I think, for the Eden Prairie defense as well.
Pitch it out to Curtis. Getting behind some blockers. He'll be up near the first down, but he'll be stopped about a yard shy. And Lakeville North will have an early decision here with 9:17 remaining in the first quarter and no score.
You be the coach here. Do you go for it here? I mean, I like the way Lakeville North has been running the ball. I mean, you're facing defending champ, a dynasty team. I think you go for it here if you're Lakeville North, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be doing.
4th down and 2 from the Lakeville North 43. High snap. Keebler able to pick it up, throws it away, and Eden Prairie will take over on downs. That was quite the auspicious start for Lakeville North, and the bad snap, and Keebler with no choice but to throw it away, and Eden Prairie takes over.
Yeah, that's a disaster for Lakeville North. I'm a little surprised they went with that shotgun and a pass with the way they've been running the ball. Elected to go with the pass, kind of like what Eastview did at the very end of their game last week against Eden Prairie, where they threw the interception in the end zone. Team's got to learn. Don't pass against Eden Prairie when you can run. Don't take that risk.
Sherwin Pompey begins at tailback for Eden Prairie. We play action. Kramer pressured, will go deep and overshoots his receiver, number 11, Dejan Wolf. Both Kramer and Wolf broke onto the scene as sophomores, so we also have a flag down. Might have been a hold on the play. Saw one of the defensive linemen for the Panthers got in there pretty quickly on Kramer. A deep shot to Wolf, incomplete.
Wolf had him beat as well. Kramer just overshot him, which is not something you see that often from the University of Minnesota recruit, but the referees are still talking things over. We'll see, maybe some hold on the defense. I'm facing away from where the field action is, so I'm watching on the monitor. I don't know where that flag came in, Patrick, if that was in the backfield or the secondary.
It is a hold against Eden Prairie.
Okay.
I think Lakeville North still deciding what they want to do with it.
Yeah, do you want the 1st and 20 or the 2nd and 10? Well, now we're making it official and calling that hold.
There was also an unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams that'll offset.
I'll do some math here to figure out these penalties and where this ball is going to be placed now. I'm not sure what the unsportsmanlike would be if maybe someone was just jawing a little too much, but they are going to back up Eden Prairie quite a bit and I assume make this 1st and 20.
Maybe 1st and 20 from their own 44. So pushed back into their own territory following the penalty.
That's a tough break for Eden Prairie after catching that break where Lakeville North had a bad snap on 4th down to give Eden Prairie great field position. Now you get that holding call and you really back up Eden Prairie.
So when you talk about the game of Cole Kramer, still quite a bit to work on despite that impressive commitment to the University of Minnesota. As we have more whistles, there's quite a bit still that he can work on according to Mike Grant and everyone involved. One of which, of course, is that he's not asked to throw it all that often just because of how good Eden Prairie's running game typically is. So reading defense is something that he will need. Here's a handoff on 1st down. Picking up a couple of yards is Jordan Amundsen. 2nd down and about 17 coming up.
On the stop for North.
Talking about Kramer. The fact that he's only asked to throw maybe 8 or 9 times a game. So we're talking about he still needs to learn how to read defenses a little bit better going forward. Just that that'll come with experience as he's asked to throw the ball more. It's just that he's not asked to do that very much. 2nd down and 17. Almost got Lakeville North to jump. This one swung out to Wolf. He's got some yardage. He's taken down out of bounds at about the Lakeville North 46-yard line. Will be 3rd down and long there.
Well, they've done a decent job getting some of that yardage back to make this 3rd and manageable. That swing out to Wolf. Let's take a look at it on the replay one more time. Lakeville North showing blitz. Kramer able to pick that up, and they got a decent gain. I guess 3rd and 12, not exactly the most manageable situation, but beats 3rd and 20.
Eden Prairie will split out 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 13. And Cole Kramer's so good at getting those jumps, but we'll see who moved first.
Kramer, I think, is kind of flummoxing this Lakeville North defense. They've come in a couple of times in the last 2 plays early, and yeah, they indeed are going to call that on the Panthers.
Make it 3rd down and 8 instead.
Penalty on North. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
That's going to be one of those keys for, I think, Lakeville North knowing who they're up against. They want to get that aggressive play. They want to establish the momentum early on, but it's one of those things you just can't do against Eden Prairie. 3rd and 8 from the 41. Amundsen on the pitch. He's strung out, able to sneak away, still fighting through some tackles. He'll come up. Ball might have come out at the end of the play. Lakeville North says they have it.
Signal from
and they do.
Now let's watch it on the replay. I'm not sure where that ball came loose. It must have been at the very end of the play. Let's take a look at this one more time. I like the play call because it set up a possible 4th and short situation. We'll see that pitch outside, trying to fight for those extra yards. Oh yeah, that came loose. Let's look at it one more time. I can rewind it and show you right where it came loose. You'll see it coming up right here where he's about to go down. I think a North player comes in, strips it right there. Get a look at it one more time. Right there is when he's losing it. His knees are clearly off the ground. It's a turnover, fumble, Lakeville North ball.
Well, 2nd possession for the Panthers will most start the fumble recovery for Lakeville North. 1st and 10 from the 36. Play action, Keebler, all kinds of time. Rather, he actually handed it off.
Oh man, he got you fooled there, huh?
He sure did.
He didn't fool our camera guy, Krister, though, did he? No.
But even still, it was a good gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and about 5 or 6 coming up.
Tell you, both these quarterbacks are good at fooling these defenses. We've seen Cole Kramer's snap count give the Lakeville North defense some trouble, and then we saw a nice fake play action from the Lakeville North quarterback.
The fullback, Dawson Godey, who got the handoff. Big guy getting the carry. Is Curtis trying to turn his way back the other direction, pursued nicely by Quentin Matsui, among others, and he'll have a gain of only about 1.
Curtis, the ball carrier.
The linebackers, Matsui, one of the strengths of this Eden Prairie team. Matsui, Colin Penn, Caden Fye. Fye had the play of the day last week, the game-clinching interception in the end zone to stave off the Eastview upset opportunity. A 3rd down and 6 from the 41. Jay Nelson down to the near side. Flags down. Keebler swings it out. It's tipped and out and lands incomplete. There was a flag down.
Keebler's pass incomplete.
That's something against North on that call. A lot of laundry early in this game. And while they sort that out, remember you can watch this game on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. Lots of different ways you can connect and watch us tonight. Got a nice comment from Chris Bishop, says this is great, and also David watching from Tampa, Florida. We're going to be wishing we're in Tampa, Florida once we start getting into some of those October games, I think. But for now, it's a nice night out here.
Well, the Panthers likely forced a punt in the situation. They'll face a 4th down and 6 from the 41.
Or so we think.
Perhaps not.
A little Bill Belichick style here. Or this could be the situation where, oh man.
Keebler, who also doubles as a punter, and now that we see that, I think that was what they were trying to do on the prior drive.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe trying that punt, but they got to straighten out these long snapping situations. Take a look at this one again. Keebler, a nice job to look at him one-hand this. This is tougher than it looks. That one almost went over his head again. Heck of a job to corral that ball and at least get something out of that punt. It actually turned out to be a pretty good punt, getting Eden Prairie right about to the 16-yard line.
Speaking of quarterbacks punting, that was something Mike Grant had talked about as well, that Kramer was on the short list to be the punter, and he had talked about, we always pay attention to who the punter is, because if it's a quarterback, you definitely want to make sure your guys are on top of things. 1st down from the 16. Handoff swallowed up in the backfield for a loss. Lakeville North all over that, and will be 2nd down and about 12. It's Nick Krieger who got the carry. Krieger had a 31-yard touchdown run last week. Eden Prairie, one of their other themes tonight is going to be a little more offensive consistency. Last week, scored those 14 points, all of them in the 1st quarter, so kept off the scoreboard the rest of the way. And while that was enough to win, it's going to be kind of tough to put up 14 points on a weekly basis and win a little more consistently. Kramer, deep drop, fires, and is caught by Wolf. Just got over the outstretched arm of the defender. It's number 37, Jake Mills. Wolf up near the 1st down.
Let's take a look at that again. Just a nice solid throw by Kramer, setting up a 3rd and short.
Eagles 3rd and long. From the 25.
Third down and 1 from the 25. Full house in the backfield, a handoff to Amundsen. He's got the 1st down and a little bit more up to the 30.
Over the years, I'd like to see what Eden Prairie's conversion percentage is on 3rd and less than 2 yards. What do you venture and guess that's been since you've at least been calling games, Patrick? Got to be like 75, 80%, if not higher. They are so tough to stop in those 3rd and short situations with their very disciplined offensive line and strong running backs that just never go down on first contact.
Absolutely, and of course with Solo Falanico off to the next adventure, Eden Prairie's got a stable of running backs. Krieger, Amundsen, also have Sherwin Pompey. One guy that Mike Grant is very high on as well is number 32, Fred Zach. He's just a sophomore, so I'm curious to see how often we see him, but there was a guy that specifically Mike Grant named. There's an end around and swallowed up right away for a loss. Krieger who took the handoff.
On the stop, Eli Mostard.
It's Eli Mostard for the Panthers making the hit. Second down and about 11. Well, this Lakeville North defense, some very active front seven with Thomas Jensen, Nicholas Wipey, Owen Dugan as well. Just a few of those names. Kramer on a straight drop on second down. He'll fire one, and it is caught by Wolf. What a catch. He's up to about the 41-yard line of the Panthers. That is knowing your receiver and your quarterback. And that was a great connection there as Wolf just finding that spot between those two defenders. And Eden Prairie on the move into Lakeville North territory.
Very accurate pass, and that's, of course, is a much different dimension that Cole Kramer brings to this Eden Prairie offense compared to what they have most years when they just run the ball and maybe throw 3 or 4 times a game.
Amundsen's got a hole. He's across the 40. Stumbles his way up to about the 36-yard line, or 37 rather, but a nice gain of about 8. Not the only one stumbling at the moment, I guess.
Second and 2 from the 37.
Bring up a second down and about 2 as we're about to go under 3.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score between Lakeville North and Eden Prairie. Krieger again, that inside handoff. He'll have a first down across the 35 up to about the 33-yard line.
Nick Krieger carries for a first down.
That inside handoff, one of the staples of Mike Grant's offense. Definitely good to pick up. Couple yards guaranteed, especially in that situation when you only need a couple to pick up the first down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, first down from the 33. Kramer is hit and sacked as he goes down hard. Did not have much time at all as he had a red jersey right in his face.
On the sack for the Panthers, number 91, Will Mostard.
Will Mostard. Will and Eli Mostard anchoring up front with Landon Carter. Mostard, who had a sack last week, or Eli Mostard rather. Now Will joins him on the stat sheet with his takedown of Cole Kramer. Second down and 13 from the 36. Kramer again, rush, gets away. He'll take off, he'll get across the 30, get down to about the 25.
Cole Kramer on the carry.
And it's slow to get up is Landon Carter. He walks back to the Lakeville North.
From the 26.
Another third down and manageable for Eden Prairie. Third down and 3.
Interesting to see what they draw up here, if they keep it on the ground or if they maybe decide to try to catch Lakeville North off guard with a pass.
Kramer on the rollout, got an open man, first down. It's Colin Penn in on offense for Eden Prairie. A versatile linebacker coming in and making a big grab for a first down, and Eden Prairie into the red zone up to the Panther 16.
That's a tough situation to defend because in 4-down territory, you don't know necessarily if they're going to run or pass. They elected to pass, knowing they have the run in the back pocket on 4th down. Just a great roll out there by Cole Kramer, finding the open receiver, as you can see, picking up the first down. Nice route run as well.
Amundsen hit and dropped in the backfield. Preston Palmer who burst in there, and Eden Prairie, even though they've been moving the ball, they've had quite a few of those negative plays. Lots of tackles for loss and that one sack of Kramer earlier in this drive.
Yeah, a lot of negative plays, you're right. That's kind of uncharacteristic of them, and you were talking about earlier in our pregame how it's a young offensive line that they have, so maybe some missed blocks we're seeing up front from some inexperienced players.
We had a timeout taken by Eden Prairie with 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter. But the Eagles in the red zone facing a second down and long. Want to thank our sponsors once again for tonight. The Malt Store and Tactical Urban Combat. Glad to have you along with us from Lakeville. North is trying to put on a much better showing than they did against Eden Prairie in their two meetings last year. So Eden Prairie will have 2 timeouts remaining. Lakeville North still all 3. A minute to play here in the first quarter. But I think the theme thus far has just been the negative plays, and defense has been playing very well on both sides. Although Eden Prairie starting to push things a little bit in the right direction.
I want to say hello to Jim Rasmussen watching from California. One of those places, again, we'll be jealous of once we get a little later in the season. But for now, I don't know about you, I'm pretty happy with this weather when we're about 70 degrees, sunny, little wind. Nice night for football here in Lakeville.
I don't know if I could ask for much better. Second down and 12. Kramer, he's setting up the screen. Wolf stumbles. He couldn't quite keep his balance after the hit and only have a gain of about 2. There was a flag down once again.
A nice tackle made by that Lakeville defensive back. As he had a lot of green space in front of him and perhaps even a touchdown. You'll see it one more time. It'll get tripped up right here just barely to slow him down. And we'll have to see what that penalty is. A lot of flags in this game. I guess we still are early in this season, so not uncommon to see a lot of penalties in the first game or 2 of the year.
And it is an ineligible man downfield, which with those slow developing screens, certainly not an uncommon call. And I think, talked about that inexperienced offensive line, somebody just got going a little bit too early.
Yeah, that can happen when you get a little anxious to get out there and throw your blocks.
Well, North chose to accept the penalty, so it'll be second down and 17 from the Panther 24. Saw Kramer take that one deep shot, which was overthrown. There's a penalty on that play anyway. He's almost got somebody to jump, but getting back on sides, and he's quickly puts this one up. It's overthrown out of bounds, and Kramer perhaps a little bit lucky. I think he saw it was Landon Carter closing in on him, and he kind of put that one up for grabs and just lands harmlessly out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he had a Lakeville North player off sides as well, but wasn't able to snap it in time. Let's see it one more time. Yeah, he did have a player right in his face who did kind of throw it up for grab. Well, not necessarily up for grab. Still, I think a good idea to only put it where the receiver could have caught it. So good in that sense, but pressure kind of got to him there and causes a third and very long for this Eden Prairie offense.
Third and 18 at the 24. Sets up the screen. Here's Wolf. Wolf able to work his way back into kind of ran into his own guy, and he's swallowed up by Eli Mostard, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, not quite getting the screen game to work there, so this is an interesting situation to see if they bring out the field goal kicker. I'm not sure who they have in their kicking game this year, or perhaps if they want to try to draw something up on a 4th down.
This is going to be Preston Dorsey attempting a 40-yard field goal. Dorsey kicked the 2 field goals, or extra points rather, last week. It'll be his first field goal attempt. 40 yards from the near side hash. Dorsey's kick is on the way, and it is no good, wide to the left.
Well, he had enough leg on it, just couldn't quite get it through, at least from my vantage point.
With a little bit of a swirling cross breeze, that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Eden Prairie with the first chance at points, but the 40-yard field goal attempt by Preston Dorsey is no good. So we'll come to the end of the first quarter with Lakeville North getting the ball to start the second quarter. That Lakeville North defense able to stand tall, and they come out of that unscathed, but some positives to build on for that Eden Prairie offense. They put together a nice drive, just couldn't finish it at the end.
And thanks to everyone for watching our game tonight. Lots of different ways you can tune into our games all season long. We're streaming on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'd stream it on Snapchat as well if there was a way, but unfortunately they don't make that possible. But if you know of a social media platform we should be streaming on, let us know. We'd be more than happy to do that. Trying to make these games as accessible as possible this season.
First and 10 from the 20. The sun setting rapidly here at Lakeville North High School. Curtis gets the straight ahead carry, fights his way. He'll have a good gain of about 5 on first down.
Ball carrier is Brian Curtis Jr.
One player we haven't seen anything of yet for the Panthers is number 7, Rajay Nelson. He's a versatile running back / wide receiver. Counted for 2 touchdowns last week, 1 on the ground and 1 through the air. There's Nelson in the backfield here on second down and about 5 from the 25. Give it to Nelson, rather, and he'll be hit and dropped right away at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
This has the look of a very low-scoring game with the offenses for both teams, I should say, making some mistakes with some negative plays, high snaps. Feels like the old cliche of the team that's going to make the least amount of mistakes. Probably very alert if you're the Eden Prairie defense.
From where I'm standing, the wind is actually fairly stiff. I can imagine down on the field it might be a little bit more so. And Lakeville North wants to take a timeout and talk things over. 10:15 to go here in the second quarter and no score.
Yeah, you're talking about that wind. I found it kind of interesting that when Eden Prairie attempted that field goal, they snapped the ball with like 1 second left in the quarter, so the kicker must have felt something in that wind that he liked kicking from, well, on your computer screen, from right to left as opposed from left to right. So perhaps it's a little bit more favorable in the kicking game.
Well, thank once again all of you joining us on our grand multicast stream this evening. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Glad to have you along with us. Certainly happy to have you back here on another season of Eden Prairie football here on PSB Media. Once again, I'm Patrick Lilia along with Brett Johnson and Krister Woodley.
Well, let's see what the Panthers do.
They're coming out like they're going to go for it as Keebler under center, gives it to Curtis, fights his way forward. He's got a first down up to the 33-yard line.
Oh, that is a gutsy call, but they're confident in their offensive line, and they got some good blocks up front to just get enough of that first down. Let's take a look at it one more time. I was thinking perhaps after he initially lined up under center, he might kind of back up in that pistol or shotgun formation and maybe punt it away, but they got some good blocks up front, got the first down, and keep that drive alive.
First and 10 from the 33. Under 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Keebler will give it to Curtis. He'll be hit after a couple of yards. That hole closed up quickly. Maybe didn't even get a couple, might have only gotten about 1.
Yeah, if that even. Eagles are back at home the next 2 weeks with games against Prairie Lake and I believe Maple Grove coming up, and they have a challenging schedule this season. You would think, looking at their schedule, Shakopee might be their so-called the easiest game, but Shakopee's been a real up-and-coming program the last few years, so this is an awfully brutal schedule for the Eagles. There are no gimmies, including tonight, which is an awfully tough game as well.
Curtis on the pitch, and what a play by the Eagles defense to swallow that up. Kyle Akins got the first hit, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, look at it again. We'll see them try to pitch to the outside. Yeah, immediate pressure there. Didn't fool the Eden Prairie defense again. Again, let's watch that pressure. Good stop. Nothing doing there for the Panthers.
Cleo Trotter and Felipe Izumi up there on the defensive line as well. 3rd and 10. Keebler on a roll. Swings it out to Nelson. Nelson caught it about the 40. It'll be taken out of bounds about a 2 yards shy of the first down.
Well, let's see if they keep things risky and decide to go for it again.
I mean, 3rd and kind of a long 2.
Or 4th down, I think.
4th down, my apologies. 4th and kind of a long 2. Got to get a little bit past the 43, and they are going to line up to go for it, at least for the moment. And now Keebler dropping back. Line drive punt taken by Fye. Flags go down as Caden Fye across the 50-yard line. More flags. Don't get too excited, Eagles fans. Almost certainly going back the other direction as at least 3 flags came in on that one.
Yeah, that's coming back. Let's take a look at it again. I don't know if they were trying like a fake reverse on this punt. Let's watch it one more time. Oh yeah, there's I think a pretty clear block in the back we're going to see coming in from your right side. Yep, right there. We'll show you one more time. Pretty easy call for the referee. You'll see it coming right there onto the screen. And that'll back up Eden Prairie probably to about their own 20-yard line.
Penalty on Eden Prairie on the return. Block in the back.
So Eden Prairie will go on offense for the 3rd time. With a fumble and a missed field goal, the results of their first 2 possessions this evening. 7:47 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Still no score.
15-yard penalty.
Blocked goal, the results of their first 2 possessions. Set the ball all the way back inside the 20 up to about the 17-yard line. First down. Kramer on the fullback handoff. Be a good pickup on first down. Able to worm their way up. First down. 5. Dalton Pompey, one of the stable of runners that we talked about a little bit.
On the stop, number 21, Thomas Jensen.
Thomas Jensen credited with the tackle for Lakeville North. Be second down and about 5. Prairie with a shot over the middle, pass caught by Matt Sherman, and he's got a first down up to the 41-yard line. A little quick hitter, Kramer.
To number 84, Matt Sherman.
That was a great play by Kramer. He faked the slant and then used that second of hesitation and hit the tight end Sherman over the middle for a big gain. We'll have a first down at the 41. Amundsen hit and drop. That's going to be Will Mostert, who broke through the line and hammers Jordan Amundsen for a big loss.
Well, we don't have Kevin Hagstrom here to keep track of stats. I don't know how he did that in play-by-play, but what do you think of for negative plays for this Eden Prairie offense? That's got to be about the 5th or 6th time that's happened here in the first half.
Yeah, but Eden Prairie at least continuing to be able to overcome those negative plays when they've happened. Second down and 13 from the 38. Pro formation behind Kramer with two receivers. Kramer, fire that's caught. Nice catch by Wolf. Looked like he might have pulled that in with the one hand. And he's out of bounds at about the 44-yard line for a gain of about 6.
I want to see this again. That looked like kind of an awkward drop back from Kramer. Let's look at it again. Didn't look the most comfortable on that throw, but still was able to get it off, and a better catch by Wolf. Yeah, it was almost kind of a stutter step and maybe a bad snap by the center. You'll see it kind of right there. Awkward step, but still got enough on it to get it to Wolf for a nice catch.
3rd and 7. They have to get to the Panther 49 to get the first down. Kramer pressured. Able to sneak out, though, with Amundsen. He's got a first down inside the 40 up to the 38. Boy, that was snatching victory from the jaws of disaster. I think that was what they were trying to do, but the defense just got in there so fast. But Kramer still able to complete the play for a first down.
Yeah, that defense was all over him, but Kramer kept his poise and was able to get... That's a tougher throw when you're backpedaling like this. Look at this again. He's backpedaling, was able to get enough on it, and set up a first down for the Eagles offense.
From the 39 of Lakeville North. Kramer will give to Amundsen. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Still fighting. I think that's forward momentum. That's going to work to their detriment, and that's going to end up being about a 2-yard loss. Amundsen was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he kept those lights churning and unfortunately able to break out of the first hit, and that resulted in him losing a few yards. They'll officially mark it as second down and 14 from the 43.
Second and 14.
Kramer with two backs in the backfield. Will give it on the handoff, slipping and falling right into the tackle though. Was Israel Mondragon.
Carrying Israel Mondragon.
Mondragon, one of those guys who you will see all over the field. He's officially listed as a receiver, but he was also mentioned in the season preview that Mike Grant gave to the Sun Current about him being part of their cornerback rotation. 3rd down and 14. No gain officially on second down. Kramer, pressure, trying to step up. He'll throw it, and it is almost intercepted.
That's a dangerous throw there, and let's watch it again. That one. Oh yeah, that possibly could have been a pick six going the other way. I wanted to see it one more time. That was an awfully dangerous play and averting disaster. If not a pick six, would have been a huge gain for Lakeville North going the other way.
Oh, Kramer indeed is the punter. Well, Lakeville North likely very aware of that. Standard punt though is running up, almost losing it, trying to corral the punt return. It was a nice line drive punt by Kramer. Almost forced a big mistake at the other end.
Yeah, I don't know if that's one of those plays where you want to run up and catch that ball. I think you want to let that bounce and hope it goes into the end zone rather than risking that, because kind of with the angle running at that ball, if that bounces off of you and you miss it, you're pretty much deflecting it right back in towards the Eden Prairie players.
And Lakeville North fans all now holding their breath. That's Rajay Nelson, who looks like he might have injured his leg on that punt return. That's a guy they definitely cannot afford to lose. A star wide receiver running back. So I make that catch on 3rd down at the end of the previous drive as he gets up, and he looks to be fine as he jogs off the field.
Panthers 1st and 10 from the 13.
Now Keebler, not a player asked to throw it a lot. He Last year he threw 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He has a very good, strong arm. He's got some real nice zip. Haven't seen any of that used by the Panther offense yet, though, as Curtis on first down, trying to find the hole, but he's quickly snagged and brought back and might have lost a yard.
Curtis, the ball carrier.
Talked about how Lakeville North has forced some negative plays against Eden Prairie. The defense of the Eagles also has forced a few negative plays here against the Panthers. This has been a real defensive struggle so far in the first half.
Keep in mind, Eden Prairie has not lost to anyone in the regular season not named Totino Grace since 2012. The flags go down before the snap. Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, was that the year they lost back-to-back games to Wayzata and Edina, then proceeded to win the state championship?
I recall that's precisely what happened.
I think those were both home games as well, but they bounced back and won a state title, which is impressive because if you have a big long winning streak and you lose back-to-back home games, that can really kind of knock the wind out of your sails, but they're able to bounce back, and that was the first of, I think, 3 or 4 championships in a row that they were able to win.
2nd and 15.
Well, a false start pushing
From the 9.
the Panthers inside the 10, 2nd down and 15. Curtis on the run up the middle, still pushing his way forward. He'll get back to around the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 3rd and very long once again.
Curtis on the carry.
Have a moment, we'll see if I can grab some scores from around the metro area. I know our camera guy, Krister Woodley, is following a certain team that wears green and gold of particular interest. That plays near Highway 169 and 162.
Curtis bursting through, but slowed up and then brought down well shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down, and Lakeville North almost certainly going to have to punt this time.
Yeah, you would think, but it's been not necessarily the case the whole game, as they've gone forward in some awfully risky 4th down plays, but I think you're right here. You're not going to be going forward on, 4th and 6 and 4th and 7 right near your own 20-yard line. Very doubtful.
Eden Prairie will preserve its 2 timeouts and let the clock run down. We'll see how far Lakeville North wants to carry it, 140 and counting. Each team with 2 timeouts. The standard punt this time, ranging over is Wolf. He'll reverse field. Another block in the back coming as Wolf races down the far sideline, but once again that will be all for naught. Another block in the back coming against Eden Prairie.
Yes, they've had a couple of nice returns stymied by penalties, blocks in the back, so they'll start near midfield, but as you said, they got a couple of timeouts still in their pocket and a D1 quarterback, so they're still very capable of going down the field and scoring. Looking at some scores from around the metro area, we got Prior Lake leading Maple Grove 13-7, Roseville on top of Woodbury 7-0, and Minnetonka, Battle of the Bay Bell, they lead Wayzata by a score of 10-6. Unfortunately, those are the only scores I could find so far. I don't have any Dyna score for you yet, Krister.
So we'll talk about it, of course, more in depth when the Crimson come to Erie Stadium in a couple weeks, but if you do not hear about their playoff game against St. Michael Albertville, it was one of the comebacks you will ever see at any level of anything. They trailed 27-10 with about 1:06 remaining in the 4th quarter. Scored 3 touchdowns and recovered 2 onside kicks in the span of about a minute, and were able to win that game 29-27, I believe, was the final.
Yeah, that's something you do like in a video game where you recover back-to-back onside kicks. That is unbelievable, and that would have been a fun game to attend. So, well, this is interesting. What do we have going on here? They're backing everybody up at Lakeville North's offense is coming back on.
I think it was offsetting penalties. Okay. They're going to have to redo the 4th down. Ben Sather back there.
I'm going to say still hang on to your seatbelts here, as Lakeville North has had a couple of bad snaps on punts, while Eden Prairie's had some good punt returns nullified by penalties. So going by the way this game has gone so far, you would think something is probably going to happen on this punt in terms of a big play.
Still figuring out where to spot the ball.
It's still early in the season for the officials as well.
I think we are finally ready, and Maple Grove will, or rather, if we were talking about Maple Grove, Lakeville North will be punting out of the, there's a bad snap. Didn't get a lot on the punt as a result of the pressure, and it takes an Eden Prairie sideways hop, and Eden Prairie will only have about 35 yards in front of them and 1:11 and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and that penalty gained them a good, what was it, doing my math here, at least 25 yards of field position. They have 1:11 left with, what'd you say, 2 timeouts. A lot of things they can do in this situation to not only attempt a field goal, but probably even go into the end zone as well if they can put something together.
Thank our 2 sponsors for tonight's game, the Mulch Store and Tactical Urban Combat. Watching on the 3-way tonight, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Kramer Amundsen trying to bounce it outside. He's not going to be able to. He'll only have a gain of about 1.
Also on Instagram as well, although I should point out, if you're currently watching us on Instagram, I might recommend a different platform, since on Instagram you're stuck with that vertical screen. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can at least turn your phone sideways and see more of the action. But yeah, if you want to watch on Instagram, no one's going to stop you.
Eden Prairie, interestingly, after that gain of just 1, they've let the clock significantly run. And almost breaking through on the catch was Matt Sherman. Sherman, again, that quick hitter. And tackled by the shoestrings. Clock will stop with the first down.
Yeah, they still have those timeouts to work with as well.
Now a timeout will be taken, as it looked like it's going to be Lakeville North, so Eden Prairie has to really like that. They got the big play, and they don't even have to use one of their own timeouts to get the clock stopped. North a little bit discombobulated after that quick hitter. I think they were extremely confused about what was going on after that.
I kind of wonder, too, if they were a little confused by the fact that Eden Prairie had that short run, and it looked momentarily like they were content to run out the clock, but they elected to throw a pass, got a big gain. And maybe the Panthers just weren't quite ready for that change of tempo and had to call that timeout.
31 seconds remaining in the first half. Eden Prairie will maintain their 2 timeouts, and they'll be inside the Panther 20.
And they still have a lot of plays that they can use in the playbook with those timeouts, so you got to watch out for both the run and that pass.
First and 10 from the 19.
First down at the 19. J.D. Chowan split out to the near side. They'll pitch it. They'll go with the reverse, rather the fake reverse. Flag comes down, and I think they got Sherman on the hold or a block in the back this time, as Sherman kind of threw up his arms looking like, what'd you get me for?
Let's see if we can figure out what happened. A lot of action going on there. Oh yeah, I see where it was. It's kind of on the left side of your screen, just barely in your camera view. If they were calling that, although it looked more like the Lakeville North player was tackling the Eden Prairie player. But perhaps they saw both guys go down and thought, well, that's got to be an illegal block.
Oh, they will get Lakeville North for this one.
Well, let's look at this again, because it looked to me again, as we'll see it, like a Lakeville North player tackled an Eden Prairie player that didn't have the ball.
And Sherman threw up his arms and he did the "what did I do?" You know, that's usually a good indication of who the call is on, but in this case, he did get to ask, what did I do? Because he didn't do anything, apparently.
That's kind of like the basketball thing where you think you have a call that's not called, so you throw your arms up in the air and say, come on, ref, I was fouled. That's kind of what he did there, and he was able to get that call. Referees have certainly been kept busy in this game. Well, now I think we're picking this up. I think we just picked up the flag, and that was all for nothing.
How about that?
Well, does that mean it's second down now? Should be second down with the clock running now, shouldn't it?
It was an incomplete pass, so...
Well, I thought it was the... Okay, well, No,
Oh,
it was
now
a
the
running
clock
play.
is
You're right. Yeah,
You're
because
right.
they had that fake reverse. So Eden Prairie's got to hurry up here. And I don't think they quite realized that the clock was going to be running.
15 seconds. The handoff up the middle. Now under 10 seconds, and now Eden Prairie going to call their second timeout.
Yeah, I again think the EP sideline was not anticipating that clock running because they had to immediately hustle to that line, and that probably cost them at least one, if not two extra plays. Right now they probably have only maybe 2 heaves to the end zone, and that's pretty much it, where before they might have had a chance to run 3 or 4 plays before the clock ran out.
Now, we're just the guys up in the booth, but the clock management on this drive has been a little bit interesting, to say the least, for the Eagles, based on where they started the drive, which was at the Lakeville North 35, with the 2 timeouts. No, you know, we don't want to pretend we know more than the guys on the sideline, of course, but a little bit of interesting...
Well, in their defense on the play earlier in the drive where they initially had the short run, they let the clock run. I think they did kind of catch Lakeville North by surprise, so maybe trying some, I guess, if this is a term, clock misdirection maybe, of running the ball, making it look like you want to run out the clock, then quickly going back to the line and throwing a pass. But, yeah, there I think I just don't think they were quite aware that the clock was going to be running after that flag was waved off.
No, 12 seconds. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the Lakeville North 18. Eden Prairie still with 1 timeout. Kramer out of the shotgun. Throw it up toward the back of the end zone, and it's well out of bounds, incomplete. Oh, with 6.3 seconds remaining. Looks like more of a hockey or a basketball, seeing that 6.3 up on the scoreboard, but it's like another opportunity coming for Preston Dorsey to get Eden Prairie on the board with the lead going into the half.
Yeah, it looked like he had enough leg on that last field goal attempt, which he missed. This one's going to be from a similar distance. And remember, last time he looked like he very much wanted to kick from right to left. This time he's got to go the other way from left to right. And you were thinking we kind of have a swirling wind. It's not that windy tonight, to say the least, but there is a little bit of a breeze outside.
It'll be a 35-yard attempt, and Lakeville North's going to make Dorsey think about it a little bit more.
Panthers take their final timeout.
Well, Lakeville North out of timeouts. Eden Prairie still with 1.
Yeah, let's see here, Krister, if we can zoom out a little bit to get a better view of this field goal kick. Thank you very much. Just since I'm thinking this is going to be the last play of the half, unless I guess you'd really have to short leg this one for Lakeville North to actually return it for a touchdown the other way. But stranger things have happened, as we talked about with that Maple Grove playoff game. What do you say? It was 2 straight onside kicks they returned?
They recovered the 2 onside kick recoveries. And after the first one, they scored a touchdown on the first play after they recovered the onside kick.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, Dorsey from 35 yards. Dorsey's kick is blocked. And Nelson back on the field. He's got an opportunity with it. You got a lot of linemen out there on the field. Nelson down the sideline, across the 50. Flags go down though. Nelson will for the moment take it the distance, but there are flags down back in Eden Prairie territory. The smoke going off here in the stands, and might be a nice Nelson on the... Go ahead, Brett.
I was going to say, I was joking about how maybe there's a slight chance they could return a kick for a touchdown, which exactly they did, but I think you're right. This one's going to be coming back.
Flags at the Lakeville North 45 and the Lakeville North 39.
Let's look at this again. We'll see the block and see if we can maybe pick up any of those illegal blocks by the Panthers. But as you said, for the kicking team, a lot of slow guys out there. Ooh. Let me watch that one more time. I think we're going to get one at midfield, a possible block in the back. I think right here, right near the 40-yard line, we're going to see a block from a Lakeville North player that they're going to call as a penalty. At least one of them, but you thought, Patrick, we saw multiple flags go out.
Legal block.
And indeed, that is the call, and that will be how the first half comes to an end. And a lot of excitement, but all for naught, and that'll take us to the halftime gun. A very defensive-dominated first half, although you want to talk about the one positive for that from the Panthers was that was Rajay Nelson, who was injured on that punt return earlier, and certainly no worse for the wear the way that he took that blocked field goal down the sideline.
Yeah, exciting play, but just unfortunately for the Panthers, nothing doing there. And we're going to have them back out on the field. I thought this would be halftime, as you said, but apparently they're going to have the Panthers run another play. I'm not sure if that's called correctly, because the penalty, in theory, should run out the half, but I guess it's a moot point if they're just going to kneel it.
Keebler just takes a knee, and we'll go to the half. No score between Lakeville North and Eden Prairie. The Eagles, we talked about those negative plays, a lot of tackles for loss, but also 0 for 2 in the field goal kicking game. The 40-yarder that was missed and the 35-yarder just now that was blocked, and Eden Prairie fortunate to not see a 6 going up the other way for the Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of drama in this game despite having no score. Looking forward to what the second half has in store. This has been a good matchup between two pretty evenly matched teams.
Well, we are at halftime here in Lakeville. Eagles nothing, Panthers nothing. You were watching PSB Media's coverage of Eden Prairie football on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Stay tuned for the start of the second half coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Might jump on and get you some more scores and updates as well in there. A lot to talk about in the scoreless affair so far.
You remember having Nerf wars as a kid? For me, it's one of my funnest childhood memories. Well, there's a brand new business in Eden Prairie that allows you to bring back that fun in an organized, safe, and gigantic indoor space. It's called the Tactical Urban Combat Blaster Battle Arena. It's a brand new Nerf blaster arena located inside Eden Prairie Center. The arena is over 6,000 square feet with changing layouts and different types of game formats to keep things challenging and interesting. It's perfect for just about any age and any event. Whether a sports team gathering, kid birthday party, or corporate team building, your next event is sure to be a hit and overall just a ton of fun at the Tactical Urban Combat Arena. Plus, they're a local independent business as both owners are Twin Cities natives. Again, that arena is located inside Eden Prairie Center, and you should really check out their website at tacticalurbancombat.com to see how cool and fun you can make your next event. That's tacticalurbancombat.com.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, you weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
scored 5 number 1 singles. Stand up, dust off your shoes, and groove with the bands as they play Boogie Shoes.
Interesting.
Closing the show is a tune named famous by the Beach Boys in 1965. Let's get rockin' and rollin', a rockin' and a reelin' to Prairie. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakeville North Panther Marching Band.
Back here in Lakeville, High School, Eden Prairie and Lakeville North, a scoreless first half. Still some excitement to be had. Eden Prairie at the end of the first half with a 35-yard field goal blocked. Rajay Nelson for Lakeville North picked it up, and with some theatrics ran it all the way back the other way, but unfortunately for the Panthers, there were a couple of blocks in the back, so went into halftime with that all for naught. Getting set to kick off for Lakeville North is Nick Mines, who doubles as a linebacker. Dejan Wolf back deep for Eden Prairie as this one kicked deep. Wolf will take it right at about the 1-yard line. Brings it up on the far side. He got some room. And taken down near the 20-yard line, and Eden Prairie will go on offense at about the 19-yard line. They started to move the ball a little bit better with each possession of the first half, but unfortunately not able to put any points on the board. Preston Dorsey 0 for 2 on field goals. He missed one wide left from 40 yards and had one blocked from 35 right at the end of the first half. First down from the 18. Kramer play action, goes deep over the middle, and it's intercepted. Bringing it back the other direction for Lakeville North is number 27, Eric Weckman, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 9-yard line. And there it is, the first interception thrown by Cole Kramer at the high school level.
That's his first in 3 years, isn't it, as a starter?
He took over the starting job, basically was the starter for all of 2016. He took over after the second game, missed the game due to injury, but since then, that deep shot and Eric Weckman just hanging out. It was
and he was throwing into double coverage there, not really quite sure what he was seeing, just kind of a high-risk play. And
so the Panthers find themselves with their best scoring opportunity of the night, and it was set up by their defense. First and goal from the 9. Curtis straight ahead, falls ahead to about the 5.
I can't see from my angle since I'm only watching on the screen, but is this a second and goal, or can they still get a first down inside the 5-yard line?
It is a goal-to-go situation.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough to tell if they could still pick up a first down like inside the 1-yard line, but as he said, it is second and goal.
Second down from the 7. Eden Prairie showing some different looks on defense. We'll give it to Curtis. Curtis straight ahead toward the goal line. And he's able to get in through the Eden Prairie defense, and didn't have any scoring in the first half, and Lakeville North turns the interception into a touchdown, and they take the lead 6-0.
Yeah, big, good power running immediately after that interception. Bowling their way into the end zone. Let's take a look at it again, just overpowering that defensive line.
Well, Brian Curtis, that's his first touchdown run of the season after he ran for 154 yards last week. Nick Mines on to attempt the extra point. High snap. Extra point by Mines. There's no stoppage before. There was no signal given as to the result of the kick, so I think we're going to have to do it again.
Well, there's been a flag on about every other play tonight, so there's just going to be a rare play with no flag. They're going to say it was good.
Well, Mines with the extra point. 7-yard touchdown run for Brian Curtis, and with 10:54 to go in the third quarter, it's Lakeville North 7 and Eden Prairie nothing.
So we got to do a little research here to probably figure out the last time Eden Prairie trailed to a team in a regular season game not named Totino Grace. You were saying it's been since 2012 since they lost to a non-Totino Grace team, but I'm not sure they've trailed in many games since then either, so this is kind of uncharted territory for the Eagles.
They did trail on 2 occasions against Minnetonka last year. It was 8-0 and then 15-8.
Those about the only instances.
Well, the only ones that I can recall
yeah,
is
same here.
At least of last season. Well, the face mask penalty on Eden Prairie on the extra point attempt, so Lakeville North will be kicking off from inside Eden Prairie territory. See what Mines wants to do with this.
And we just booted into the end zone.
And they're going to try the pooch punt, fair caught by Eden Prairie.
I've always thought when you get that 15-yard face mask against the receiving team, why not try the onside kick? Because the worst case is they maybe get the ball at, the 35-yard line? I mean, it's not ideal field position, but it's not horrible either for a defense. I don't know, I've just always thought that.
It was Will Becker who fair caught it for Eden Prairie. They'll start from their own 28. In case you just missed it, Cole Kramer just threw his first interception at the high school level a moment ago. As Amundsen able to power his way out of 1 tackle, but 2 more red jerseys swallow him up.
That's unreal to think about that. In 2+ seasons, that is his first interception in high school. It was kind of an uncharacteristic interception as well. It wasn't one of those picks where, it's a tipped ball that gets popped up into the air and caught by a defender. This one was just thrown into double coverage and is not a good pick here for Kramer, as he'll have to try to rebound for the Eagles.
2nd and 11 from the 22. Kramer play action, tried to set up a screen and almost intercepted again. Just diving for that one was Owen Dugan, just underneath his arms.
Now this puts Eden Prairie in an awfully dangerous situation. You got 3rd and long near your own 20-yard line, and you do not want to punt this ball right back to Lakeville North and give them good field position with the Panthers already ahead 7-0.
3rd and 11 from the Eden Prairie 22. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Kramer's pass for Wolf off his fingertips, incomplete, and Eden Prairie will have to punt.
Now on the other hand, for Lakeville North, you forced a 3 and out immediately after the touchdown. You got to keep that momentum up, keep your pedal to the metal. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe come out and possibly try a deep pass here as soon as they get the ball back.
Haven't seen it yet tonight, but Brennan Keebler, he has a good strong arm. Kramer's punt. Nelson will fair catch it at the Panther 48, and that's where Lakeville North will go back on offense. 10:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Eden Prairie started the second half with the ball. Cole Kramer intercepted by Eric Weckman. Weckman returned it inside the 10-yard line. And Lakeville North with a tidy 2-play drive, 2 runs by Brian Curtis, the second a 7-yard touchdown run. And it is 7-0 Lakeville North with 10:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. First down. We'll give it right back to Curtis. He's got a hole, bounces off of a couple of bodies, fighting his way. He's got a first down across the Eden Prairie 40.
That was just hard-nosed running by Curtis, dragging a number of defenders with him and picking up a first down. I was saying maybe go for that deep pass, but if you can just jam the ball down Eden Prairie's throats, why not do that either? Take a look at this again, some good hard running from Curtis.
Brian Curtis with that 12-yard run.
Broke through at least 5 or 6 tackles, as you can see.
Pitch it to Curtis. This time not quite as successful. He'll be taken down after a gain of maybe one. That was Quentin Matsui who made the first hit for Eden Prairie. He's second down and long.
He's one of the few experienced players returning on this EP side. They lost a lot of good players to graduation on that state championship team last year, and these young guys in the lineup being forced to do some growing quickly, trailing 7-0, and now Lakeville North already with the ball in EP territory.
Keebler on the rollout, pass caught near the first down. Maybe a couple yards short, rather.
Nothing fancy about that play. I like that call. Put up a good 6 yards there and set up a 3rd and short. So that's probably 4-down territory.
Tate Staylock, the tight end. Won't see many receivers show up on a Lakeville North stat sheet. Staylock had 1 catch last week. 3rd and 3. Curtis fighting near the first down. He got to the 30.
Yeah, this is going to be close. What are they marking him here? Are they giving, is he going to be a little short, or are they going to, I can't tell from my vantage point.
They're going to mark him a little bit short. He didn't quite, spotted the ball a little bit outside of the 30. I thought he got to the 30, but the officials.
Yeah, they did mark him a little short, didn't they?
About a half yard short. We'll just see if Keebler eats this one on 4th and 1. And he will, and he'll have the first down.
Not by a lot, but he got enough to pick it up on that QB sneak. Pretty easy call there. Low risk. More times than not, you're going to pick it up on that QB sneak situation, and you're also facing a relatively inexperienced Eden Prairie defensive line. You're able to pick it up and keep that drive alive.
Oh, Keebler with got about 1.5 yards. Only needed about maybe 2/3 of a yard on 4th down. Be 1st and 10 from the Eden Prairie 29. It's Nelson. He's got room. Nelson spins out of a tackle and falls inside the 20. We'll have another first down after a gain of 12.
Yeah, good run to the outside. Got some good blocks as well. Great blocks, I should say. That interior defensive line for Eden Prairie was not able to get to the outside, giving him a lot of space to run and pick up that first down, or at least get close to it.
Nelson remaining the tailback. First down from the 19. Nelson worms his way forward up toward the 15-yard line. And we'll mark him at about the 16. Will be a gain of about 3, and will be 2nd down and about 7.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. People watching from all sorts of platforms here this evening. A lot of people tuning in from Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Not so many on Instagram. Still got to work up our following there, but glad you're tuning in whichever way you can. In fact, we'll try to read some comments when we have a few more minutes later in the broadcast.
On 2nd down from the 17, give it back to Nelson. Inside the 15, inside the 10, and taken down inside the 10. And he'll have another first down right at about the spot where Lakeville North started that previous touchdown drive. It'll be 1st and goal.
1st and goal.
We talked about that 3-headed monster. We've seen 2 of them work their magic now. With Curtis had that touchdown run, and this drive has been all Rajay Nelson. He's got the Panthers 1st and goal at the 8. Curtis back in, maybe has about 1.
A big stand for this EP defense to try to at least hold them to a field goal attempt. Field goals are never guaranteed in high school, even inside the 10-yard line, so they can hold them out of the end zone here. They can perhaps get momentum back in their favor.
Second and goal at the 8. Curtis again powers his way in. Touchdown, Brian Curtis. And 2 second half drives, 2 touchdowns for the Lakeville North Panthers. It's 13-0.
Power running. I was thinking maybe they'd try that shot down the field after getting the ball back in good field position, but hey, they just stuck with their bread and butter. Able to just kind of will their way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Curtis with his second touchdown run of the quarter. Mine's extra point is good. And with 5:53 remaining in the third quarter, Eden Prairie in a spot they haven't been in a long time. They are down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, very uncharted territory. Let's take a look at that run by Curtis now that we got it lined up on the replay. Powerful running, man. Starting to think Lakeville North is Eden Prairie with the way they're playing and running the ball tonight. Stifling defense, a great power running game. They look like an awfully tough squad, and as he said, the Eagles have a tall task here, trailing by 2 touchdowns, and their running game since about the first quarter for EP really has not done a whole lot, so they've started to rely a little bit with Cole Kramer through the air.
Eden Prairie with 2 turnovers tonight. Had a fumble by Amundsen in the first quarter as well. The Kramer interception that opened up the second half. As Mines kicks it deep. And it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and Eden Prairie will go on offense from the 20.
They got 80 yards to go, and they got to figure something out here on offense. They have not been able to really do much and try to solve this Lakeville defense.
First down. Kramer will give it straight ahead. Now, nice yardage for Amundsen. He'll have a first down up to about the 33-yard line. Oh, a nice run by Jordan Amundsen to start the Eden Prairie drive, and they'll have a first down up at the 33. Now, the last time that Eden Prairie was shut out also happened to be the last time that they lost to a team not named Totino Grace. That Wayzata game we were talking about earlier at the end of 2012 that closed the regular season. Kramer going deep and overshoots Dejan Wolf.
It's been the combo all night, and it's been primarily the target for Kramer, so we've certainly seen Lakeville a lot of double coverage at Wolf, but I think it's going to have to be their running game to try to get this offense back on track. We saw a nice first down run a couple of plays ago, and I think Eden Prairie is going to need more of that, and they certainly have plenty of time on the clock. I mean, if you count the time here in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, they still have a little over 17 minutes left, so plenty of time to get back in this one.
Second down from the 33. Another give straight ahead. Some tough yardage gained.
That's a good little gain there, picking up 4 or 5 yards. This is likely going to be 4-down territory for the Eagles, so still got 2 plays to pick up that 5 or 6 yards that they need.
So Amundsen looks like he's the feature back for tonight. To see how Eden Prairie talked about that stable of running backs. They have 5 guys that they are pretty high on to take over for Solo Falanico with the lead running back. Krieger had the touchdown run last week of 31 yards. Kramer swings it out toward Wolf, which was read very well by the Panther defense, and that will go nowhere.
Yeah, Lakeville North has done a good job keying on Wolf and knowing exactly where he is on that field. Great read there by the corner for Lakeville North. Take a look at this one more time. See him, as soon as he saw Kramer drop back, he was anticipating that screen and was able to move in there immediately and slow him down, then get help from a teammate to bring down Wolf and force a fourth in medium range for EP.
Keep in mind, of course, that Kramer is the Eden Prairie punter. It's a fake.
Well, they got it, I think.
And they will get the first down. As Amundsen took the direct snap off the punt, and Eden Prairie able to move the chains and bring the offense back on the field.
Yeah, he had Lakeville North fooled there with that fake. I think perhaps Lakeville North was thinking what you were, that they'd snap it to Kramer and perhaps try the fake, but they snapped it directly to the running back there, and no one on Lakeville North was able to react in time, so a first down for EP.
At the Eagle 46. Inside handoff, Amundsen fighting. We'll have a nice little gain on first down of about 4. The 3:44 remaining in the third quarter.
And this drive will work out. It's been slow and methodical, but it'll only pay off, of course, if they score right away, or score on this drive. You're going to use up this much time.
Kramer in the shotgun, second down and 7 from the 49. And play is stopped. And a timeout taken by Eden Prairie. We'll have 2 remaining for the remaining 15:06 of regulation.
That could be a timeout that could perhaps come back and burn them later. Tonight's game brought to you by the Mulch Store. As we start heading into fall, if you have yard cleanup going on, make sure you drop off your yard waste at the Mulch Store. You get a great deal, not only financially, but also gets turned into compost for next season. Very convenient. Don't have to hire some of those expensive guys to come out and clean up your yard. Use the Mulch Store. Find more information, mulchstoremn.com, mulchstoremn.com. They have locations all over the metro area: Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee. Lots of places where you can drop off that yard waste coming up this fall.
I want to welcome the Mulch Store back. I think they were absent from our rotation last season, but good to have the Mulch Store back with us.
By the way, if you know of anyone who'd like to sponsor us, or if you'd like to make a donation, always appreciate that. We just got barely enough funds to be able to cover this season. It's not free to do these games. Takes our time. Patrick and I and Krister aren't getting rich from doing these streams either.
Kramer's pass, that Wolf unable to. Not quite sure if Thomas Jensen got just enough of a hand on that one.
Let's see.
To keep it out of Dejan Wolf's possession.
Yeah, he may have, because Dejan Wolf, he comes down with that ball cleanly. He has all sorts of green space in front of him. Let's see again, right there. Does it hit his hand? He may have got a piece of it, just to interrupt the flight of that ball just enough and to cause Wolf not to come up with a catch.
Third down and 7 from the Eden Prairie 49. Have to get to the Panther 44. And Eden Prairie's going to take another timeout. Well, they've burned 2 timeouts here in the span of about 3 plays. Well, we were talking about might come back to hurt them later, but I think they're just thinking we have to get back into it to worry about.
Yeah, I think they're kind of use the phrase all in to score on this drive. Or, you know, you can worry about your timeouts later, but you have to get a touchdown on this drive. I'm thinking that's the strategy with using these timeouts here, making sure you have the correct plays in, because if you give the ball back to Lakeville North, there's a good chance you might not get it back until you're about midway through the fourth quarter.
Coming out of the timeout, 3rd down and 7 from the Eagle 49. 2 receivers split out wide to the right of Kramer. High formation. Play fake, trying to set up the screen. Amundsen in the flat, and he overshot him. Amundsen may not have gotten the first down had he caught it, as his momentum was carrying him toward the sideline, but makes it an even more difficult 4th down coming up. And you just used your fake, so it might be something that Eden Prairie will have to consider here. Kramer will punt it conventionally this time. Nelson will chase it inside the 10. He's got to be careful as it's down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, you got to be careful that he doesn't get pushed into the football when you have 5 or 6 white jerseys surrounding him. Doesn't matter how you touch that ball. If you do, then it's free for Eden Prairie to pick it up, going the other way.
Oh, Lakeville North will have their worst field position of the night. They'll start at their own 5, but they have a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, and here they just want to run some clock right now. Not necessarily thinking about scoring. By the way, we'll have our video back in just a moment.
Tight bunch formation. 1 receiver split out to the left. Give to Curtis. Across the 5. Getting up to about the 9 where he's strung out there as he took it off the left side. It'll be 2nd down and about 6.
Unfortunately, a player down for Lakeville North as well.
An injury timeout. Mason Malakay.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Reminder, you can watch the games Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all sorts of ways you can watch EP football this season. We'll have all the games the remainder of the season. Of course, come playoff time, you'll have to watch on other outlets as we don't have rights to postseason games, unfortunately. But make sure you tune in next week. Got a good matchup with Eden Prairie in their home opener against Prairie Lake.
We'll do some scores from the 6A scoreboard. These, of course, what we have reports on. Blaine leading St. Michael Albertville 14-7. St. Francis over Buffalo 21-13. Maybe 2nd down and 7 from the 8. Curtis straight ahead until he hit right as he got the handoff. And he'll probably lose a couple, and it'll be 3rd down and very long, and a dangerous situation perhaps for Lakeville North deep inside their own 10.
Yeah, got to be careful with it you draw up here.
Sort of an interesting score, speaking of Prairie Lake. They lead Maple Grove 19-11 right now. Roseville up 20-0 on Woodbury. And Minnetonka in a dogfight with Wyzetta. 13-12, the Skippers with the lead right now.
Yeah, Wyzetta's been down for a few years football-wise, and the tradition they have and a strong program and youth teams, you would think they're going to bounce back at some point, and maybe this is the year where they get back in state title contention. As you said, they're giving who a lot of people think is a state title favorite in Minnetonka all they can handle in that battle for the Bay Bell.
That game at Minnetonka High School. Back here, action here at Lakeville North High School. Big 3rd and 8 for the Lakeville North Panthers, 2:20 to go in the third quarter. They lead at 14-0. People are on the pitch. Oh my goodness, very dangerous.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that one snuffed out quickly, and a great play by Ryan Hanaho to haul down Curtis, and Curtis was almost lucky he didn't get caught in the end zone.
Yeah, Curtis got caught moving backwards a little bit there, and well, you talk a momentum changer there if that were to turn into a safety, but this is still a great situation if you're Eden Prairie, forcing Lakeville North to a 4th down inside their own 5-yard line. And of course, don't forget Lakeville North has had an adventure in the punting game in terms of their snapping.
Snap off without a hitch. It's a good punt. Wolf will fair catch it. And the Eagles will take over at the Panther 41.
Tell you, long snappers don't get a lot of credit, and the Lakeville North long snapper had a tough first half, but that was I don't often hear this term, a clutch long snap. Because if you get that over the punter's head, you got momentum right back at Eden Prairie's favor. They're able to get a clean punt and at least force the Eagles to drive 41 yards to get into the end zone now.
37-yard punt and no return. First down, Eden Prairie from the Panther 41. Amundsen on the quick handoff. And he's got a gain of about 4.
Amundsen on the carry. On the stop for North. Number 22, Nick Whippy.
About to go under a minute here in the third quarter. We pretty much have a packed house here at Lakeville North. I can't see a seat from where we're standing, and we're pretty high up on the... Gonna have our own little corner here at Lakeville North High.
We don't get to be in the press box at all. We're out in the stands.
Kramer 2nd and 6, overthrown. Intended for Will Becker. Hit Becker on that slant route, but that was well over Becker's head. It'll be 3rd down and about 6. Third and 6. It might be 3rd and 11 after that.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to go against North. That's not an insignificant mistake.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, that's going to force a 3rd and very short, and we were talking about how good, of course, the Eagles are over the years at converting in 3rd and short situations, and you think here they're going to just run the ball up the gut 2 times to pick up that first down.
After the encroachment penalty, 3rd down and 1 from the 32. Amundsen, he's got the first down. Almost bounced off a man, but falls down at the 30. Pickup of about 2, but that'll get them the first down. That'll be 1st and 10 from the Panther 30.
As we said, we've set up in the stands, so there's unfortunately some obstructions. We have a fan standing right in the way of our clock camera. So, Patrick, how much time we got left here in the third?
27 seconds and running.
Okay. Oh, the joy is when you don't get to be in the press box, right?
Fortunately, we'll get to be in the press box next week. Hand off Amundsen. Maybe picks up 2 or 3 as he's shoved back. It'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Eden Prairie with a must-score drive as they'll run this clock to the end of the third. The Panthers turn a Cole Kramer interception, the first of his high school career, into a touchdown. They add on a second touchdown on the drive after that, both by running back Brian Curtis. And we'll go to the fourth quarter with the Eagles trailing Lakeville North 14-0. again, thank
I
everybody
remember
for
having
tuning
Nerf
in
wars
on
as a
our...
kid. For me, it's one of my funnest childhood memories. Well, there's a brand new business in Eden Prairie that allows you to bring back that fun in an organized, safe, and gigantic indoor space. It's called the Tactical Urban Combat Blaster Battle Arena. It's a brand new Nerf blaster arena located inside Eden Prairie Center. The arena is over 6,000 square feet with changing layouts and different types of game formats to keep things challenging and interesting. It's perfect for just about any age and any event. Whether a sports team gathering, kid birthday party, or corporate team building, your next event is sure to be a hit and overall just a ton of fun at the Tactical Urban Combat Arena. Plus, they're a local independent business as both owners are Twin Cities natives. Again, that arena is located inside Eden Prairie Center, and you should really check out their website at tacticalurbancombat.com to see how cool and fun you can make your next event. That's tacticalurbancombat.com.
And gets the carry on second down. Again, he twists and turns his way for maybe a gain of 1. We're underway here in the fourth quarter. Eden Prairie trailing 14-0. 2 Brian Curtis touchdown runs in the third quarter. 1 from 7 yards and 1 from 8 yards. Be third down and 7 for Eden Prairie from the Panther 27. They're late getting a player on the field, but able to get set. There's Colin Penn. Here's Amundsen. He's bounced off of one tackle, but then is slammed down. It's going to be fourth down for Eden Prairie.
And you think they're probably going to go for it here. They almost have to, even though it's fourth and not exactly ideal, with needing about 5 or 6 yards.
Ryan Mudgett, one of the Lakeville North has a very deep, active front seven. They'll a very experienced and talented defensive line in particular. Talked about the most starts. Who have Landon Carter as well. Those 3 guys anchoring that defense, and Eden Prairie takes their final timeout with 10:24 to go in regulation.
Well, as we said, they are all in to score on this drive, and this is probably the play of the game right here. Good chance you're not going to get the ball back much more than 5 minutes if you don't pick up this first down here with the way Lakeville North has been moving the football. This is where you need your Division I quarterback to probably step up and carry your team right now. It's an inexperienced Eagles squad. Kramer's a 3-year starter. They're going to need him to come up big. Have to see if maybe they roll him out or what exactly their strategy is.
But I think this shows a lot of the inexperience on the offense for the Eagles outside of Kramer and Dejan Wolf. A lot of running backs, none of whom really saw a lot of time last year on offense, and you have an inexperienced receiving core. You've had some nice plays getting Matt Sherman and those little quick hitters down the middle.
Well, Patrick, we got a fan right in the way of the camera, so you might have to go a little radio style here on play-by-play.
3 wide receivers out to the right. Fourth down and 6. Kramer pressured, fires, caught at the first down marker.
He got it.
See where they spot him, they will give him the first down.
Krister Woodley doing yeoman's-like work to make sure you got that shot. As we said, the joys of being in the stands, right?
First down, Eden Prairie.
Eden Prairie able to convert that 4th and 6. And it will be first down and 10 from the Panther 20. Krieger this time, he's hit right away. Krieger running right into that defensive line we talked about. Maybe picked up 1.
Yeah, not much at all.
It's Mudgett once again. Haven't called his name until this drive, but he's made a couple of big hits here on the Panther defense. About to go under 9.5 minutes.
Seems like this drive has taken forever, hasn't it? They've had the ball for, what, close to 8 minutes on this drive?
Kramer, the play fake didn't fool anybody, and he's sacked. I thought we might have gotten a flag almost, as Kramer was clearly on the ground when he took that second hit, but no flag coming. It'll be third down and very long from the 30.
3rd and 17. Not many plays in your playbook. Even if you have a D1 recruit at quarterback, you probably got to try to at least get maybe half of this back in this situation. This is a long, long ways to go. Close to maybe even 3rd and, what do they have it officially, 18 or 19
3rd
yards
and
they
20
need?
is what.
20, wow.
Kramer out of the shotgun, 3 receivers to the near side.
Oh, I think he got Lakeville North offside, so they didn't call it.
Kramer again pressured. He'll have to throw this one out of bounds, and Kramer shoved out of bounds with that ball as well.
I think he may have fumbled that out of bounds. They may call that a sack.
Not really something that we're accustomed to seeing is Cole Kramer under pressure of this magnitude. He's had such a great offensive line in front of him for the last couple years of his tenure as starter, but as we talked about early on, a little bit more youth up front this season.
Well,
now what do you do if you're Lakeville North here? Do you pin your ears back, or do you kind of let them just take what they're after and they got to get 20 yards?
Put 2 or 3 guys on Wolf. That's what I'm doing.
They pick the pin their ears back, and the pass wobbles incomplete. And Lakeville North takes over on downs.
And that, I don't want to say it might do it, but it's pretty dang close with 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Now Lakeville North with the ball back, and an offense that's been moving the ball quite nicely here in this second half.
And this crowd very much into it now. Eden Prairie has not lost to a team not named Totino Grace since the final week of 2012.
Wow, that is still an unreal stat that you keep bringing up, as that streak's certainly in jeopardy right now.
The Panthers take over at their own 30. Curtis, he's got a big hole. He's got a gain of about 7.
There's pretty much no chance Lakeville North is going to be putting the ball in the air. That's at least my somewhat educated guess, I guess I would call it. And as we talked about earlier, no timeouts for Eden Prairie as well. So North, at the very least, if they use, 40 seconds per play, there's a guarantee that they're going to run well over 2 minutes and maybe even close to 3 minutes of total clock, even if they go 3 and out.
Second down from the 37. As Keebler lost the ball, he was able to fall on it. And I guess if you're the Panthers, you sit there and you go, well, that was almost disaster, but the clock running.
Yeah, exactly. So Eden Prairie, if they, again, force a 3 and out, probably not going to get the ball back until there's under 6 minutes left. They, of course, have to force that 3 and out, which isn't a guarantee with the way this Lakeville North offensive line has been blocking and the way these running backs have been running. We talked about how these running backs for the Panthers have not been going down at first contact. Very strong runners that they have.
Curtis spinning his way forward, still fighting. Near the first down, he got it.
Yeah,
Brian Curtis, the workhorse running back, picks up 5 on 3rd and 4, and Lakeville North moves the chains.
As we said, these running backs do not go down at first contact. We'll see him break through a couple of arm tackles here on this replay. A tired defense, and then just push that line forward for an extra 2 yards and a first down. And that clock continues to run. You're probably looking to be optimistic if you're an Eagles fan, probably 4 minutes at the earliest when you get the ball back if you force a 3 and out. So things are looking bleak.
Curtis on first down will have a gain of about 3. So you don't want to sound the alarm too much, but the other thing to think about is Eden Prairie has now not scored in 6.5 quarters. They scored all of their points in the first quarter last week, and since then have been blanked in the 6 quarters that have followed, and now with under 6 minutes to go have not put anything up in the fourth quarter yet.
Boy, that's an aspect I hadn't really thought of myself either. That's something they're going to have to straighten out next week when they face another tough Prairie Lake team.
Curtis breaks a tackle, gets up to about midfield. Near a first down, about a yard shy.
That's just got to be fun if you're Curtis out there, just getting the ball on every handoff and knowing you got a defense that, for lack of a better term, really can't stop you.
Well, he did get the first down. I thought he looked a little short, but that's why I'm up here and they're down there. There were Eden Prairie, no timeouts left. They burned all of them just to make sure that they had the right plays, such critical plays on that previous drive, as Lakeville North will take one of theirs. They'll have 2.
Interesting they take a timeout there. You figure if you have the wrong personnel, at least wait for the clock to run all the way down, but the way this running game's been working, I'm not sure it's going to matter. In fact, I'm not sure Eden Prairie's even going to get the ball back.
I'd like to thank all the sponsors of Lakeville North football that are scrolling under the scoreboard or on your phone.
See if I can pick up any scores here, Patrick. I know you were looking on your phone. Let's see if I can take a look at the football hub, see what they have going on. We have, Prairie Lake's opened things up a little bit with Maple Grove. They lead them 26-11. Prairie Lake is the team that the Eagles will see next week. How about this? Centennial on top of Totino Grace, 14-6. Blaine leads STMA 14-7. And Wyzetta now on top of Minnetonka, 18-13.
First down for Lakeville North in Eden Prairie territory. Curtis will have a gain of about 5. Going to be under 5 minutes by the time we get that next snap.
Curtis on the carry.
Second and 6.
Well, they're not using a whole lot of clock here, but I think it's just they're in such a good rhythm offensively that why use the clock? Stay in rhythm and just keep moving that ball.
As Curtis plows ahead, we've got maybe 2. It'll be third down and about 4. We'll probably be under 4 minutes by the time the next snap occurs.
Yeah, now they're taking a little bit more time in the huddle.
Third and 4. And flags come down. Might have taken a little bit too much time.
So 2 plays ago, they took too little time. This time, they took too much time. Well, despite the fact that the Eagles are trailing 14-0, we saw a good look there from our camera guy, Krister, showing us the EP student section. They're still having a good time out there.
Never a bad day at the stadium.
Yeah, especially on a night like this where you have not many clouds in the sky, a little if any, I should say. Little wind, still a pretty nice temperature in the 60s. Beautiful night for high school football.
The delay a game, that'll make it 3rd and 9 from the 47. Exactly 4 minutes to go. Curtis, rather Keebler on the play action. Pass is caught.
importantly, stays in bounds. Even though they didn't pick up the first down, that's still a win because you waste another good 35 or 40 seconds off that clock.
Dawson Godey out of the backfield. Fourth down and 5. Probably think Lakeville North just punts this one in deep as possible and make Eden Prairie have to earn every yard, but they're lined up to go for it now.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's no way they're going to be going for it here, is there?
Keebler, the punt. Nice directional kick, and it'll roll into the end zone.
Oh, that was close, being down to that 1 yard line. Well, if you got film on that Maple Grove St. Michael Albertville game, I think you got to bust that out if you're Eden Prairie and figure out what Maple Grove did. It's going to take that type of miracle to come back in this one.
No start from their 20. 3:06 to go in regulation, 14-0. Panthers with the lead, back-to-back drives ending in touchdown runs by Brian Curtis of 7 yards and 8 yards. And Curtis has really carried the load tonight. They haven't really had to feature anyone else in their offense. As Krieger will end up with the ball. Trickery, though, not working at all.
On the carry, Nick Krieger. No gain for the play.
They're electing not to put the ball in the air, but maybe this is kind of a gut check for the team right here, saying that, you know, we can't rely on just our passing game to get us to victory. It's going to have to be these running backs, the offensive line, that step up as well.
Inside handoff, that's Krieger again. He will be up to about the 26-yard line. He'll have a gain of about 4.
Krieger on the carry. On the stop, Landon Carter.
You kind of wonder if that might be the thinking of what they're doing right now. Send the message to his team that it's going to have to be through the running game, that you're going to have success this season, not just through passing the ball.
2 minutes left to go. 3rd down and 6 from the 24. Kramer pressure, swings it out toward Wolf. Wolf with the catch. He'll be hit and dropped short of the first down.
So now you got to think, where's Lakeville North going to be in the rankings coming up next week? Are they going to be the new number 1, or is it going to be, I was going to say Minnetonka, but if they end up losing to Wayzata,
They have some major shakeups in those rankings over this week.
Yeah, you might be looking at the new number 1 team here in Lakeville North.
And Lakeville North going to take a timeout. They want to make sure they're all on the same page before this. 4th and 1. They can make a stop that'll clinch the game once and for all. 1:17 remaining in regulation. Talked about this. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
I was going to quiz you. Who's the 3rd ranked team? If it's Lakeville North at 4, Eden Prairie 1, and Minnetonka 2, is Edina rated 3, or who's the 3rd?
Edina, I believe, is up there somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't get to check the rankings this week before we came down here.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that 3rd rated team is, but there's a good chance we're going to see Lakeville North at number 1.
7 o'clock game when Farmington comes to North. That's next Friday.
Next week, Farmington coming in here. That might be a...
Oh, how about this? Just a quick score update. Minnetonka scored a touchdown. They're now up 20-18 over Wayzata, so maybe we spoke too soon about North being the new number 1.
A lot of surprises going on this week. Amundsen, he'll have a first down, and quite a bit more across the 40. It's brought down at the 41.
Amundsen carries. First down, Eden Prairie.
The player down for Eden Prairie. Offensive tackle Matthew Roberts.
Tough break for him. Hopefully everything's all right with the O lineman. Let's see if we got some other scores to report. Blaine on top of STMA, 14-7. Buffalo and St. Francis all knotted up at 21. Centennial continues to hold a 14-6 lead over Totino Grace. A little bit of an upset in the making there. Fire Lake still on top of Maple Grove, 26-11. It's Roseville over Woodbury, 20-7. And as we just said, Minnetonka has